Hello, and welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be a very interesting and new type of video because today's going to be another informational ecosystem and garden tour. Now, we're not going to be talking about anything you can see behind me. We will be going outside the second half of today's video, but right here, there has been so many absolutely incredible things that I've noticed in the last 5 minutes in the fish tank, from possibly eggs around the fish tank to possibly some signs that maybe the guppy just laid, and it's very exciting. So I'm very excited to show you guys everything that is amazing that is currently happening. To be honest, I have no words right now because I'm so excited to talk to you guys about everything that's happening in this beautiful garden space. So before we do go and start today's video, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go and start today's video. Now, this is gonna be a little bit difficult to talk about the baby fish because, well, it's extremely small, but kind of looking around right here, they don't exactly look like eggs, but you can kind of see them right there. So I'm wondering if one of the beautiful snails just laid some eggs. Don't know which one. I honestly have no clue, but I'm gonna keep a very close eye to see if anything else happens. But what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be looking back here. Now, it's extremely hard to see it, but is that beautiful fish right there? Maybe we can see it a little bit better from up top. No, we cannot. But it is all the way in the very back. So, the guppy, there's one male and one female. There used to be two other females, so 3. And sadly, just some stuff happened that wasn't the best. But at the end of the day, I'm super excited. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye throughout the next few days. And to be honest, I might have just saw another one. So, who knows? But I think today is the day that beautiful female guppy is going to start giving birth to all those beautiful guppies. So I'm very excited for all of the amazing stuff that is about to happen. I'm going to keep a very close eye, and I'll give you guys a lot of updates throughout the next few days. I think I might have just saw another one back there. I don't know for sure. Maybe it was just a piece of some food that maybe just went by, but very excited to show you guys everything amazing that is happening right now. So now let's go ahead and go outside and do the second half of today's video. Now, this part of this video will actually be pretty quick, but usually I just kind of fly through the garden, just talk about everything. I'm going to try to take my time today and really tell you guys as much information as I know on the reasoning why I put that plant in that spot and some other beautiful stuff that I'm very excited to talk about. First thing is I have one pot of romaine lettuce, one thing of black Simpson lettuce, 2 things of oak leaf. Very excited about that. Turning around, we have a beautiful kind of lettuce right here, which is going to be buttercrunch. Now, I don't have much knowledge of growing buttercrunch because it hasn't gone, well, perfect for me, but very excited to really learn a lot more about that. Then I'm also growing a lot of gourmet lettuce right there. Very exciting stuff happening there. Right here, I'm growing ruby red lettuce in those 2 areas. Grand lettuce right there. Parsley in that area. And then cilantro in those 2 areas right there. Now, what's interesting is everything in this except the beautiful rosemary I've never grown outside before. So, and in some cases, I've never even grown it inside either. Now, I think out of all of them, I have grown all of them indoors except the asparagus. But let's go ahead and check everything out. So I grew spinach indoors, never grown it outside, but it went really bad indoors. So I figured, you know what, might as well try growing it outside and see if it goes good. Asparagus, never grown it before. To be honest, I don't even think I really had asparagus, or it's been a super long time. So that'll be a very cool journey to learn a lot more about that. I'm also growing basil, ton of rosemary right there. Over here, I'm growing bunching onions, and that'll be the very first time I'm growing that outside. Same thing, oregano, spearmint, and rosemary. I've grown spearmint indoors, but it did not do very well. So that's kind of a first case scenario type of thing here. Right here, I'm also growing green peppers. Now, that is not all of them. There is another zone I have right now that has a ton of beautiful green peppers, but this is kind of just the main garden pepper pot, I guess, but very, very excited there. Lavender growing right there. Blue crop blueberry and the blue-ray blueberry. Turning around. Now, I say this on almost every video, so I'm going to say it again. If I could only pick one plant in the garden to grow, I think I'd pick strawberries. To be honest, of all the plants, I would say I see my strawberry plants as more of the prized plants in the garden, and just so many super, super cool stuff happening here. So, check all those flowers out. Very, very excited about this, but the most important thing is check out these beautiful strawberries growing on it. I am so excited. So much progress, and we'll just see how stuff goes. Very, very excited to see how everything does, and it is definitely really, really blooming. We're gonna get a ton of strawberries with just that one plant, and yeah, it'll be a really, really cool journey to really see how these grow and absolutely thrive in this beautiful garden. And then with this area has, with most cases, it has 2 things growing in each pot. Now I have 4 things of potatoes right there, 2 things of onions, and then I am growing little carrots and just normal classic carrots. Now I am growing peas on top. I was not planning on having the onions and potatoes grow this fast, but just the season has been so warm, so rainy. It's just absolutely incredible and absolutely remarkable for these plants to absolutely thrive during this incredible season. So check that out. The potatoes are absolutely doing insane. To be honest, they're going to be a lot bigger by the time the peas start producing pea pods. The potatoes might even be ready to be harvested, so who knows with that, but I'm very, very excited there. And I will say this, so this tree right here gets bigger every year, and to be honest, during spring, before it does completely leaf, it grows a ton of flower petals and drops them, and every single flower petal has a seed on it, which eventually grows into a baby tree. Now if you look through the garden, we have hundreds of baby trees now growing throughout the garden. So every day I always have to go through the garden and always trim on all these plants and try to pull out all these weeds and trees that we don't need. So not the best journey there, but at the end of the day, whatever happens. I already talked about this, but I'll mention it again. I'm growing little carrots right here, normal classic carrots right there. I'm growing mustard in this area. To be honest, the mustard didn't germinate as well as I was hoping all around. Radish, to be honest, is doing so well you can't even see the sign anymore, but it is there somewhere. I'm also growing beet and beans. Very, very excited about that. Over here, I'm also growing some beautiful, absolutely beautiful plants. I'm growing cherry tomatoes and spring tomatoes. Very, very excited for this area, and we'll just see how stuff starts to do. I do think it'll take about another week before we do really start to see a lot of growth, a lot of progress happening. We're not going to be going to the main other side today, kind of that main pepper side, but I will definitely be talking about that tomorrow. I'm growing corn, 3 rows of it. Very excited about that. I'm also growing sugar peas. That is a huge mess, but at the end of the day, we should get a ton of beautiful pea pods from that. And yeah, very excited. I'm also growing a ton of melons throughout this beautiful field. Now, I'm really, really hoping once all the melons start to grow, they can slowly start to germinate and slowly start to grow out their vines. And by the time they're ready to go into a little bit more of a space, I can take out the sugar peas after the season's done with, everything's harvested and the plants have dried up. And then I can go ahead and just let all those vines grow over even closer to the corn. Now talking about what I'm actually growing in the melon field, I'm growing honeydew melon, watermelon, and cantaloupe. In this giant pot, lots of beautiful stuff happening. I'm growing marigolds and beautiful elephant ears. Very, very excited about that. And to be honest, I really wanted to have lemongrass in the garden this year, but just every single time I went up to the garden center, they just never had it. So maybe, I think I was definitely really early this year. The season definitely got here a little bit quicker than usual, but the irises are doing very, very, very well too. You can see even more up there. We did harvest a ton, and wow, that is a beautiful light purple color. So are those. Those are beautiful. Very, very excited about all of that. I'm also growing sunflowers. You can see a ton right there. Right here, I'm also growing Cosmos, California poppy seeds, and golden daisies. And then up there where those signs are, there's a ton of beautiful cucumbers growing all over. So I'm very, very excited about all of this. And we'll really just see how everything does and all the progress throughout the entire garden. Very, very excited about the strawberries, and it'll be a very, very cool learning process to really learn a lot more about how strawberries produce strawberries, how they react to different weather, and definitely hotter weather. And we'll also see how much they really grow after it really does start to get hotter. So other than that, this will be the end of the video. So definitely a lot of stuff to be very, very excited about. I'm so excited for this summer to really show you guys a lot of cool stuff that's happening throughout the garden. I'm also going to be working on some very, very high quality and 4K type of videos that I'm going to be really explaining how plants grow, everything you need to know about that particular plant. So if you guys have any kinds of plants you really want me to focus on this summer, please comment that down. I'd really, really appreciate it if you would. And other than that, this is going to be the end of the video, so please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you not miss a video, and please like this video. Very, very excited about the ecosystem, and I'll be definitely keeping you guys updated on the ecosystem throughout the next few days. But other than that, thank you all so incredibly much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.